The law of vibration is the key to better relationships. All right. If you've never heard of the law of vibration or you're like, oh, I hate that, I'm going to explain to you what that is. And I'm just explaining this from a concept standpoint. Okay. I like to use concepts that are easy to understand to explain concepts that I'm trying to convey. And I like to relate other things that are unrelated into kind of weaving them into a little bit of a story and an example so we can see how the law of vibration helps us to have better relationships. And this comes from science, and this specifically comes from sound, okay? This is basically what I'm telling you is how sound and how sound waves work help us to have better relationships, okay? Now, have you ever heard of active noise canceling headphones? Now, what I'm about to share with you, I am not a scientist. My drawings are not scientifically accurate. These are concepts. I like to be entertaining. I like to give you something to look at so you can kind of understand the concept. But active noise canceling headphones, what happens is there are other noises outside when we have the headphones on. And what the headphones are doing is they are playing an opposite frequency to what the frequency is outside, so to speak. Maybe it's not exactly opposite. Once again, don't quote me on that. But what they're doing is they're sending out a competing frequency. And what that does is when the two sound waves hit, they flatten out and there's no sound anymore. So we have one sound and another sound at different frequencies and they cancel each other out, okay? So what happens with that is if I, as a human, figuratively vibrate at a specific frequency, and when I say that I vibrate at a specific frequency, what I'm saying is who I am as a person and my values. So my value system, my personality, my values, my personality, my faith, my hobbies, all of that combined, let's imagine that creates a wavelength, okay? And let's just say that creates this wavelength right here, okay? This big up and down one, okay? Now, when we have somebody else who's not like me, they have a different wavelength, and let's just say it looks kind of like this. It's not bad. Neither of them are bad or good. They're just different, okay? And when we don't take into account the law of vibration here, and we think we can hang out with somebody with a different vibration than us, or try and change their vibration, what happens is the two vibrations come together and they just do nothing, okay? They're not working together, and the two vibrations, they just don't do anything, and neither people, when they come together, are satisfied, okay? Because one wants to do this, one wants to go up and down, one wants to do a little bit more of a flattened out one, and they just compete. Just like noise canceling headphones, they compete, okay? And they cancel each other out. So if I'm in intimate relationships with people that are not the same as me, not only am I not going the way that I want to go, but I'm also holding them back from going where they want to go, okay? So this is why I've been really talking about assorting who is in our social circle as the primary thing that's going to cause us to have more satisfying intimate relationships and social circles, okay? It's just by sorting people by their vibration, and that's the way I like to describe it, okay? Now what happens is when we have two sound waves that are the same, when they come together, they're the exact same sound wave, they come together. You'd think, oh, well, then they just mesh together and they just keep doing the same thing. That's actually not the case. Scientifically, what happens is when they come together, they actually amplify each other. So the Bible says, as iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. What happens is the two sound vibrations, the two people that are at different vibrations, when they come together, they become better and more amplified. They become better and more amplified. So what they do when you use the law of vibration, so to speak, to pick people in our lives, I pick people that are like me. We're heading in the same direction. We're vibrating at the same frequency. Our progress in life, our satisfaction, our the amount of stuff we're accomplishing, I almost knocked over my board here, all of that gets amplified. And that's a simple concept I wanted to share with you guys. Competing frequencies negate. The same frequency put together amplifies. This is using sound to portray a concept. Two sound waves at the same volume put together increase the sound and increase the output. And I don't know if that's like scientifically. If you're a scientist, you can maybe comment how this works. But this is the way that I think about things, and this is the way that I like to explain it to myself. So if you like this video, hit the comments, share this with somebody. And I wanted to share with you, if you're a person of faith, in the Bible specifically, it says, where there is unity, look at that horrible handwriting, I should have been a doctor. Where there is unity, God commands a blessing. Doesn't that sound exactly like where there is unity, more things happen? Nikola Tesla said, think of the world in vibrations, and energy and vibration. And that's how I'm explaining something to you, how to have better relationships. Find people that vibrate at the same frequency as you, figuratively, and you guys will be more productive, be more happy. And it's all about that. It's all about sorting. Once again, nobody from a different frequency is bad. We don't think of them as bad. They're just a different frequency than us. And I like to explain things this way because it's backed by science, a scientific principle that I can then translate into a teaching concept. So that's how you have better relationships. Find people that vibrate at the same frequency as you. Have a wonderful day, guys.